All right, I just want to shoot a quick video on why I am so excited about Nano Banana. Now, just real quick, what you're looking at is a custom app that I've built. No, this is not publicly available, but it's an app I use to pull in different models. So I actually just recently pulled in Gemini 2.5 Flash, which is codenamed Nano Banana. So one of the reasons I'm really excited about Nano Banana is just how contextually aware it is and how you can use natural language to edit images. So I was just going to show a couple quick workflows and examples and why I think it's a little bit better than what we've seen in some of the other models so far. So here's a simple little toy flow that I created. So I started with this base image, and I think the original image came from MidJourney, and then I added some greebles with it. So you can see here that I'm using Google Gemini, so Nano Banana, and the prompt was, can you give this starship some wings and some more greebles? So this little tech in the wings here. Then what I did is actually had to bring it over ChatGPT's ImageGen. And I think that ChatGPT's ImageGen still does a better job at style transfer. So here you can say that I'm going to OpenAI. And I said, can you make this look like a plastic toy on a neutral background? So it did a good job with the style transfer, but it, in classic OpenAI image generation, it kind of added that yellow tint, which has been a problem since it came out a few months back. But I picked it back up on Nano Banana, and then the request was, can you change the orange coloring to black and swap out the background for a dark neutral background? So with Nano Banana, I was able to take out that yellowish coloring and then, of course, swap out the paint job on the toy itself. And then from there, we just did some simple edits like, hey, can you just add some orange accents and just a small amount? And I also noted to add some details. And I thought that was pretty cool. So then what I asked Nano Banana to do was to go ahead and show me what it would look like in a product catalog. So here you can see it's adding some text, Black Ops Special Edition. And it does a good job adding text, but of course we still get things like modular canisters, I think is what I was trying to say. But it did a good job kind of framing this in the product shot. So I got to thinking, like, what would this look like in a product box? So then the prompt became, can I see what box this toy would come in if it were sold in a retail location? So I thought that was pretty cool. And then I was like, well, let's go ahead and have this being opened up on Christmas Day. So that you can see he's pretty excited. Then, of course, the social media post from the parents. Had to check that out. So I think someone's excited on Christmas. So Nano Banana is excellent at context awareness when you're making these prompts and being contextually aware of what's in the image itself. Now, this is just from a tagged list. There were a couple of edits in between this here and this here. So you can see the final edit I made was just cleaning up some text, but it even did a good job with that. So changed that to 5 comments where it was misspelled before. So that's kind of a fun workflow. Another workflow that I was working with was, once again, I took a character from MidJourney and I asked it to put it into a T pose, and then it was holding a weapon, so I had to remove that. So the character came across in a T pose really good. And then one of the things that Nano Banana also does a good job with is I asked for a back pose. And what I thought was really cool about this is that it kept the stylization intact better than any other model that I've seen so far. So you can see here the back of the character, of course, wasn't in the original image at all, but it derived that from the original image, which I thought was pretty cool. Then I thought this one was pretty neat. I took this character, so I took this original shot, and I said, hey, make an item sheet based on this character. So, or can I make a prop sheet for this character? I thought it did a good job, once again, kind of like interpreting what it should make based off the original image. And so obviously we have our original character here in the middle. So I thought the staff was pretty neat. So then I gave it the original image and then this prop sheet. And I said, hey, can you render this character from the first image, which is the character, holding the staff from the second image, and then put him into a dynamic pose. So here you can see that our little forest shaman guy is now holding the staff, which I thought was really awesome. And I've not seen that yet in a model handle it so well and look so true to the original form. So I got to thinking, let's go ahead and check this guy out in a couple different variations. And so made this image, cleaned him up, and I asked for some color variations, and it did a really good job with color variations. So here you can see that we're swapping the character with some different color schemes. We're doing that once again. So here I'm actually asking for a new color scheme plus a little chaos themed. And so we're adding in some extra elements. So once I noticed that I could do a good job kind of adding these elements and really changing the finish of the character, it got me thinking like, well, could we just swap out things like antlers? So we swapped out antlers, and then we went with a completely different material set. So here I said, can you change the color scheme of this character? Something more metallic, et cetera, et cetera. So it did a really cool job there. So we're just going through some color edits here. And then another thing that came up was I got to thinking like, well, it did a good job with just the prop sheet. What about like just different helmets? So you can see one set of helmets, then I made another set, something completely different. And then I actually just took the original character I took our ironclad warrior here, and we actually made a completely new type of character, similar to the original one, but here you can see we even have a different armor set for the character completely. So out of that woodland themed and more into this other theme. So once again, trying new helmets. Once again, trying new variations on that character. And then kind of wrapping up this series with just a pose with the new armor set. So that alone, I think that really how it chooses to render and keep the like initial style intact when you make these requests, I thought was really impressive. But beyond that, one of the other things that I think makes Nano Banana really impressive is how fast it is. So when you use the OpenAI API to generate an image, it takes roughly 60 seconds. But you can see here with Nano Banana, I can go ahead and make a request. And it is roughly 5 to 8 seconds. That loading bar is fake, by the way. So you can see it's super fast. So not only does Nano Banana do a great job holding on to context, it's just wicked fast as well too. So I'll show some more examples later, but I just wanted to show you one of the reasons I was really excited about Nano Banana and really how fast the AI industry is moving in general. All right, thanks for checking this out.